Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I've created this spring ready makeup look. So it's a really nice matte look with a tiny bit of a shimmer. I think this look will be perfect for springtime because it's got those coral colours, those peachy colours. It's got a bit of yellow under the eye, so it'll be great for spring. It's not feeling like spring at the moment, if I'm honest with you. It's very dull, very dark, very cloudy, very rainy and very cold, which is why I'm still wrapped up in my jumper. But I wanted to get into the spirits of spring anyway, so I've created this look for you guys. I hope you guys like it. If you'd like to see how I got this look, then please keep on watching. But before we do, make sure you're subscribed to my channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're updated every single time I upload new videos. But otherwise, let's get into this look. Okay, so to start off, we're going to use my L'Oreal True Match Perfect Match Concealer, and this is in the shade 3DW, and I'm going to apply that over my eyelids. This will be a primer, or it will act as a base for my eyeshadows. And then I'm going to buff that using my 142 concealer brush by Zoeva. If you guys have been watching my YouTube videos for a while now, you'll know that I start off with my eyes. In most of the videos, I start off with the eyes and then do the base and then come back to the eyes again at the end. By the way guys, what do you think about my new eyebrow shade? I'm growing out my eyebrows so they're a little bit thicker than they normally are, and I've also changed the shape a little bit because I like it more round than arched eyebrows. So let me know in the comments below what you think of the new brow. Should I go a little bit thinner or do you like this thickness? And now that's done, I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism Palette. Going to set my concealer in place using the shade Unity, which is this shade here. This is the one that's closest to my complexion. So I'm using my Zoeva 222 Luxe All Over Shader Brush, and this is from the Rose Golden collection. So I'm just going to set the concealer in place using that shade. So to start off, I'm going to use the shade Eden as a transition shade, and I'm going to apply that using my 228 Luxe Crease Brush by Zoeva. And then whatever colour's left at the edge of the brush, I'm going to brush that out or sweep it out towards the tail of my brow. And then I'm going to drag the rest of the colour higher up towards my brow bone and towards my eyebrow. I just want the shade to be as soft as it can be. So now that's done, I'm going to go in with the shade Satin, which is this deeper orange shade here. I'm going to use my Luxe Soft Definer Brush by Zoeva to apply that into my crease. So this will deepen the crease slightly. Again, I'm sweeping the shade out towards the tail of my brow. And then using my Real Techniques 203 brush, I'm going to blend the edges so everything looks softer. Now I'm going to use the shade Parallel, which is this deep chocolatey brown shade here. I'm going to use my Zoeva Luxe Petite Crease Brush. I'm slightly going to deepen my crease. So this shade, I'm only going to take it sort of 2/3 of the way into my crease. Sweep the shade out just slightly towards the tail of your brow. And then using a clean Zoeva Luxe Defined Crease Brush, which is the 224 brush, I'm going to soften the edges once again where I've added the Parallel shade. Now using a flat shader brush, I'm using my Zoeva Luxe Smoky Shader Brush. I'm going to use the shade Eden again, which was this peachy corally shade I used earlier in my transition area. And I'm going to pack the colour onto my lid. And then using the same 224 brush, I'm going to blend the edges once again. So now that's done for the eyelids, I'm just going to clean up the excess eyeshadow at the edges there so it looks nice and clean. Okay, so I've cleaned the edges so it looks a bit sharp at the end. I personally feel that for my eye shape, my deep set eyes, this really works. Cleaning up the edges and making it look sharp just works for me because it lifts the brow bone, if that makes sense. But if you prefer doing a softer version of this, you can do so. So now I'm going to move on to my base and then I'll come back to my eyes like I always do. So I'm going to use my Fenty Beauty Primer, and this will mattify any oiliness that I have or any shiny areas that I have, which now is around my cheeks and my forehead. After applying my primer, I always like tapping it or patting it on my skin just so it really sinks in. And now I'm going to use, I don't know, my skin's not looking too bad, so actually instead of the Fenty, I'm going to use my YSL foundation, and this is the Touche Eclat foundation in the shade BD50. So I'm going to take a good pump of that and then using, oh, it's not wet. I'm just going to wet this and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I'm just going to bounce this beauty sponge on my face to blend all the foundation. In some ways, I prefer this foundation, although it's a really minimum, really low coverage foundation. I just prefer using this because it gives you a lot of playtime once you apply it on your face. The Fenty, on the other hand, it just dries up so quickly, so you have to work really fast with that foundation. But coverage wise, I prefer the Fenty. It's a closer shade match than this one. And for concealer today, I'm going to use my Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eye Eraser. I'm going to apply that so under my eyes, on my forehead, slightly down the bridge of my nose, and then down the sides of my nose there as well, just so my nose looks a little bit more slimmer. And I just remembered that I forgot to apply my colour corrector, so I'm going to quickly do that in the tiniest amount of space that I have left under my eyes. I'm using beauty sponge again. I'm going to blend my forehead and the nose first, and then I'm going to blend the concealer on under my eyes. So I am taking my concealer quite close to my under eyes, quite close to the lash line, because I am going to apply a really bright colour under there later. So I just want that shade to really pop, which is why I don't want any darkness under my eyes today. Now I'm going to use my Real Techniques blush brush, and using my Becca Multitasking Perfecting Powder, I'm just going to set my under eyes. So recently I've been loving the patting motion and not the swiping, sweeping motion, because I feel like my face remains matte a lot longer than it used to. So I realise now my skin's looking slightly ashy and slightly lighter than the neck. So I'm going to use my Sleek bronzing kit, and this is the Face Form Contouring and Blush Palette. So I'm going to use the contour shade, which is this one here. And to be honest, I really like the brush that came with my Huda bronzer. So I'm going to use that brush to bronze my face. And this palette is so pigmented, as you can see, so a little product goes a long, long, long way. And then if you feel like you've got a sharp line like I kind of have here, you can just go over that with a sponge that's got your foundation on it and just press over it, and that will make it look a lot more buffed in. And then for the nose, because it's such a pigmented product, I'm only going to slowly and very gently apply the product onto the sides of my nose. And then cleaning the excess on the back of my hand, I'm going to use the flat bristles here, and I'm going to carve and smooth the contour lines. And then using the blush shade from the trio, I'm going to use this bronze soft blush on my cheeks. This is also very pigmented, so make sure you use a light hand when you're collecting the product on your brush. And then to dial it down a little bit, I'm going to tap my foundation side onto the blushes on my cheeks. And then to finish off the cheeks, I'm going to use my Fenty Beauty highlighter, and these are the shades Mean Money and Hustler Baby. So I'm going to use a little bit of both of those on a fan brush by Zoeva, and this is the 129 brush. I'm just going to apply that to the highest of my cheekbones. And then using my accent brush by Real Techniques, which is this really tiny itty bitty brush, I'm going to use a bit of both of those shades, and I'm going to apply it to the bridge of my nose and a little bit on the tip of my nose, so it looks like an exclamation mark, and a little bit on my cupid's bow as well. So before I can go back to the lips and complete this look, I'm going to go to the eyes and use the shade Sphere, which is this really nice, almost neon yellow sort of colour. And using my Zoeva Detail Shader brush, which is the 237 brush, I'm going to apply that to my lower lash line. It's still not intense enough for me, so I'm going to use my Morphe flat top brush, and using the same shade, I'm going to try to intensify the lower lash line. And I want the edge there to be a little bit smoother, so I'm just going to buff that out slightly using a pencil brush by Zoeva again. So now that's done, I'm going to use the shade Hustler Baby from the Fenty Killawatt Highlighting Duo, which is this really gold shimmery shade. I'm going to use that to highlight the inner corner and my brow bone. And then going back to my all over shader brush, the 222 brush by Zoeva, I'm going to take a little bit of my Becca Multitasking Perfecting Powder, and I'm just going to clean the inner edges here. You don't have to do this step, this is just something I like doing. And now for mascara, I'm going to use my L'Oreal's False Lash Sculpt Mascara, and I'm going to lightly coat my upper and lower lash line, lower lashes. I'm trying to think, should I leave my lashes like this, or should I go in with some false eyelashes? Let's apply some lipstick and then decide whether I want to apply some lashes or not. So for lipstick, I'm going to use my Huda Beauty Venus liquid lipstick today. I think I'm going to apply some lashes, so I'm going to apply my Huda Beauty Farah lashes. So I'm going to do this off camera quickly. Okay, so that's the final look. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you guys recreate it as well. If you do, then make sure you tag me on Instagram at Valencia Barreto or hashtag Valencia Barreto as well, because I'd love to see your recreations. So if you like this look, then make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!